Hello ladies and gentlemen, once again this is Jeremy Smith. I'm out here today sweating very badly with my friend Chloe. Oh, is the hat blowing away again? Why don't you wear the hat?
It's made for you.
It's made for me? Okay. Everyone is insisting upon getting me to wear this hat. I guess everyone wants me to look like Pharrell Williams or something like that. I don't know, something. But anyways, I'm wearing this hat. Wait, no, we're not talking about the hat, we're talking about the lens, yes. We're talking about the Sigma 105 1.4. Lots of people have been doing quick unboxings of this lens, and no one has really done any actual hands-on shooting with it. So I've got it on the MC-11 adapter on my A7RIII, and we're going to give this lens a little bit of a quick test for you guys. So stay tuned. All right guys, so in keeping with the usual tradition, I'm just gonna be sort of shooting things from my perspective, just directly over my shoulder. Right now, I am using some nice available light. I'm going to keep things kind of simple for the time being. I will be switching over to using the Profoto B1 with the 3-foot Octa in just a moment. And we'll see how that goes. Okay, Chloe, turn towards that way a little bit, there you go. And then sort of brush your hair back a little bit on the right side there. Okay, there we go. Your eyes were totally hiding from me. Okay, stand up nice and tall for me. There we go. Okay, so there we go. Looks good. I'm gonna move a little bit closer. We basically get no depth of field at 105 and 1.4. I'm shooting this thing wide open right now. I mean, what's the point in stopping down? I mean, we don't really buy a 105 1.4 to shoot it at like f4 or something, so I am just shooting this sucker wide open. About 100 ISO, 1/640th of a second. Looking really good. The eye detection works pretty well, considering that I'm adapting with the MC-11. I am using the very latest version of the firmware for the MC-11 to ensure the best performance. Okay, now I'm going to switch to a few sort of horizontal shots. You can stay where you are. I'm going to move this way a little bit. Okay. Let's see. Your hair from the left side is kind of coming around. So move, yeah, kind of brush the hair back. There we go. All right, cool. Okay, so turn towards that way a little bit. There you go. There you go. Okay, looks good right there. We've got some wind coming now. That's good. We get a natural wind effect. That's always nice. I haven't started telling Chloe crazy jokes. I still can't believe she doesn't know who Pharrell is. It doesn't matter who Pharrell is, I'm more awesome anyway. Okay guys, you know, if you guys know me, you know that I hate camera straps, but this thing has made me reach for mine. It's pretty hefty lens to hang on to. You can tell this thing is kinda heavy, just looking at it. I'm shooting at a little bit lower angle now. I have Chloe being sort of backlit. Still at 1.4, shooting pretty high speed right now. Got some nice bokeh from the trees. Chloe is fighting her hair and losing the battle right now. Okay, yeah, so I guess just, if you can, there you go. The wind is like, you know, got 2 points and Chloe's hair has 0 at this point. Okay, there we go. Okay, let's see what that looks like. Looks like we've got some pretty good shots right now, I would say. All right, guys, so you can see we're doing a pretty low angle right now. I'm gonna sort of back up a little bit with the 105. And yeah, I still have my hat on. I still have Keylon's hat on. Anyways, everyone is very amused by me wearing this hat, so whatever. But I'm going to back up a little bit. I'm shooting at a little bit lower angle. I'm definitely taking advantage of high-speed sync now to really darken down that background. It's getting to be about 10-ish right now, so the sun is starting to get high. We're gonna be getting out of here soon, but I did bump up the shutter speed a little bit to kind of, you know, make a little bit better use of the available light we have. Actually, I'm not using it much at all. I want to really dampen it down some. So I've got this 3-foot Octa, pretty close up to Chloe, and we're going to be getting some pretty soft light from it, and we're going to see what this is like at a more low angle. You guys are seeing this scene from a very wide angle perspective, thanks to the 12-24, mounted on the 6500. But of course, using this 105, I am getting a drastically different perspective on things. Okay, so let's see here. So look back towards me. There we go. All right. You just got done seeing me do that ridiculous floss dance. You should still have some smile left over from that. I would think. I would think there would be some smile left. Okay, tell you what, sit up nice and tall. Take your left arm and just bring it across your body. Like this. There you go. Now take your right arm. Take your right arm and just leave it like that. Looks good. All right. I wasn't quite fast enough. I missed your hair flip. Yeah, this lens does very, very well. You know, I'm liking this focal length a lot more than I thought I would. I've used the 100mm STF in the studio, but you know, outdoors, I don't know, I wasn't a fan of it. This 1.4 though, really gives me a nice look. The other thing I like about using a very long lens is that I can have lighting equipment very close to my subject. You guys can see how that softbox is really, really close to the top of my frame. But because I'm using this 105 backed up, I'm not getting that effect of it in my picture. I have made the decision to move the light to the opposite side now, because I kind of like the light hitting Chloe's face from this angle a bit better. And I think now would be a good time to sort of compare this to the 85 1.4 G Master. So I'm going to take a couple shots with the 105. Tell you what, Chloe, bring your other right arm and put it into your lap as well. Just like put it over onto your left knee. There you go, that's good. All right, looks good. Okay, so we're gonna get a few shots here with the 105. Okay, Chloe's hair, did you hear me? There you go. Yeah, Chloe's hair has its own mind as well. And so anyways, what are you going to name your hair? We could name your hair like Joyce or something.
Ursula.
Ursula, that's probably more appropriate. Okay, there you go. So this is looking pretty good. Okay, so hold that pose. And I'm going to change for the 85 1.4 G Master. Wow. Putting on the G Master is way different. It is way lighter than the Sigma, for sure. Yeah, the G Master is way lighter to work with. You know, I like my G Master. No, I love my G Master. But I definitely can see a reason for the 105 Sigma. You know, it's definitely got a pretty unique look to it. I don't know, I'm gonna have to look at these samples on the computer. It might be a little sharper. The Sigma might be a little bit sharper, wide open. That wouldn't surprise me if it is. I don't know, they seem to be pretty close just looking right now. I'll put some samples in the link or in the description below so you guys can kind of see. Definitely gotta say, the 85 is definitely a lens I can use all the time. The 105 is certainly more of a specialty lens. Now that we're back inside, I can give you guys some of my final thoughts on the 105 1.4. First of all, to get the main thing out of the way, yes, this lens is very, very big and heavy. I am willing to give this lens a pass on that just because of its focal length and its use. Now on lenses like the 85 1.4 especially, if you guys remember that review that I did, that lens, I was not as willing to accept its size and weight, just because with the lens like that, I end up shooting with that focal length basically one-handed a lot and much closer to my subject. But with something like the 105, with it being a short telephoto, I'm basically going to be shooting with it a little bit more backed up, and I'm typically going to use something like this more two-handed anyway, so the size and weight is a little more tolerable just because of that use case scenario. But yes, if the size and weight thing is a concern of yours with your equipment, then yeah, this may not be the lens for you. It's pretty large, a little over 3.5 pounds. You know, it has 105mm filter size, so very, very large, just like a lot of the other Sigma lenses. The one thing too that's a little bit different about this lens is that it feels kind of like a miniature 200 f2. It has you know, an integrated tripod collar, which is something you typically don't see in a lens in this focal length, and it's very, very dense and compact. So just a few things to kind of take note of. Now, I did notice that it does have the weather seal gasket at the back, just like Sigma's other newer Art Series lenses. Older Art Series lenses like the 35 and the 50 don't have this, although they do on E-Mount for some reason, but not on Nikon and Canon mount. Only these newer lenses like the 135 and the 105 and so on seem to have this rear seal on Nikon and Canon mount, so that was something that I noted. And speaking of the 135, that's a lens we haven't tested on this channel yet, but I'm thinking that for my own use case, the 135 might be a little bit more down my alley. You know, not only is it a little bit longer focal length, but it's also a little smaller and lighter than this 105 1.4. So that sounds like a lens that might actually be something that I'd want to use in more detail. Definitely will be testing both those lenses side by side in a future video. I did shoot this lens against my 85 1.4 G Master a bit. Sharpness wise, once I got back and looked at the images, I mean, I couldn't see a huge difference there in terms of sharpness, but I did see quite a difference in terms of color fringing. The 85 1.4 G Master is already very, very good in terms of not producing color fringing, but the 105 1.4 was just better. So that's something to be noted. Take a look at all the sample photos in the description below and let me know what you think. Also, thanks to Chloe for coming out and being my model, and thanks to my buddy Keylon for coming out and doing some B-roll footage for me. Definitely check out his channel. I'm going to put a link in the description and in the cards so you guys can take a look at that. Hopefully pretty soon, he and I will be making a lot more videos similar to the one you saw today, with more of a, you know, little bit of a cinematic sort of vibe to them. Also guys, if you want to purchase this lens, take a look at the link in the description below that will take you over to Bedford Camera and Video, and use the code THEGREAT at checkout. That'll let them know that I sent you guys there. And yes, just like I said before, I promise I'm still working on getting a cool discount or something for you guys, but it's a chicken and egg scenario. They basically have to be able to see that people are following this channel to their sites. But they won't give me, you know, but I'm like, hey, I need some incentives to make people do that. So it's anyways, it's a weird thing. But if you guys do that, it does help out, it does help me bring you guys more content because it allows me to get my hands on even more equipment. So definitely take a look at that if you get a chance. Also, don't forget to follow me on social media. I am known as Photog J the Great. And that's about it for this one. Until next time, this is Jeremy Smith, signing off.
Man, dude, like I feel like my head's about to blow away in this hat, man. Like for real, like I look like, you know, a cross between Pharrell Williams and like Woody from Toy Story or something like that. I don't know.